Hip pain doesn't always mean something's wrong. Sometimes it just means that they might need some movement, strength, support, or just something a little bit different. So let's go ahead and loosen things up. Hi, I'm Dominique, the owner of Body Mind Fitness, where I'm a personal trainer, a registered yoga teacher, a nutrition coach, a core and pelvic floor expert, and a teacher of yoga teachers. I help women build strength, body awareness, and confidence in how they move, especially if you've ever felt a little out of place in traditional fitness spaces. I work here at my studio in London, Ontario, but also online with women from all over the world. And if you like this video, I would love if you would like, comment, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss an upload. So we're going to go through some very specific stretches today just to help move your hips. But you'll need a couple of things: a chair, a blanket, and a couple of yoga blocks. So let's go ahead and get started with our first position, which is a 90-90 position. You can use a blanket behind your head just for a little bit of comfort and to help bring your neck into alignment. And we're going to sit close to the chair and lay down on our side, and then roll onto our backs, placing the feet on the chair. From here, we're looking for 90 degrees in the hips and 90 degrees in the knees, and you can just rest your arms comfortably by your side. Feel free to close your eyes. And imagine breathing in space. And as you exhale, let go. Allow your body to feel heavier on the floor. Your feet to feel heavier on the chair. And with each exhale, imagine your body softening just a little bit more. It's definitely a little bit more of a easeful movement, not even a movement per se, but just letting go, doing nothing. From here, we're going to move into a figure 4 stretch where you can cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Now, for some people, this will feel like quite enough. Alternatively, you can tuck your chin, lift your head, and then reach up, taking hold of your left thigh. And as you lay the head back down, pull the legs a little bit closer, feeling a deep stretch in your right bum cheek. And just stay and breathe. Once again, just a little bit more of a being exercise versus a doing exercise. Actually, it's a stretch, isn't it? I can call myself out when appropriate. Let's place our left foot back on the chair, and we're going to make our way onto the other side. Now keep in mind that each side of the body can hold different types of tension. And on one side, you might very well keep your foot on the chair, while the other side might be able to pull that leg a little bit closer into the body. Meet each side of the body where it's at. Perfect. Let's go ahead and release. We're going to make our way onto our hands and knees now. So let's go ahead and roll onto our side. Ease our way up off the floor. And you can even just slide your chair out of the way. From here, you can go ahead and take your blanket, and we're going to use it for a little bit of extra luxury with the knees. And we're going to come into a tabletop position with your knees underneath the hips and the wrists underneath the shoulders. Create lots of length in the spine. And when you're ready, we're going to press into the hands, press into the knees, and round the spine up to the sky, tucking the chin and tailbone in cat stretch. Then breathe in as you reach the heart towards the floor, lifting the tailbone and eye gaze in cow. We're going to move back and forth between these two extremes, exhaling to cat, inhaling to cow, and keep moving at your own natural rate and rhythm. Nice and easy, nice and slow. After your next cow, we're going to return ourselves back to a flat back position, still maintaining that tabletop, and then go ahead and tuck your toes. From here, inhale and push your hips back towards your heels, and exhale, come forward. Now, as you inhale and push your hips back towards the heels, try to keep your spine nice and long. And this will help increase that feeling of stretch in your glutes, in the back of your hips, your bum muscles. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in as you go back, breathing out as you come forward. All right, from here, let's make our way up into a tall kneeling position. But before we do that, you may need a couple of blocks, and we're going to place them upright. So I usually refer to the blocks as the 3 little bears. So this being Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Baby Bear. I guess Baby Bear, shortest version of the block. And we're going to place it in front of us. So from your tall kneeling position, go ahead and step your right leg forward, bringing both your hips and your knees, well, I guess one hip, your right hip into 90 degrees, the knee into 90 degrees, and a 90-degree bend through your back knee as well. From here, we're going to draw the ears in line with shoulders, and go ahead and tuck your tailbone a little bit. So think about drawing the pelvis under, and then give your left bum cheek a little bit of squeeze. Try to hold this position as you start to come forward. And as you're coming forward, you can bring your hands down onto the blocks. Now, you may need to adjust the height of your block, but it's always easier to adjust it downward because we don't want our shoulders up by the ears. And this doesn't always have to do with flexibility. Sometimes it has to do with body proportions. And we just start to settle in. Now you can definitely stay here if you'd like, stretching into the front of the hip, or we can add a little bit of movement by just starting to sway the hips from side to side. And you can really get as much of your body involved with this as you would like. If your knee is bothering you, you can make sure that your knee is stacked over the ankle by just kind of wiggling your toes forward a little bit. If the knee isn't bothering you, you don't need to do it, but it's always helpful. Perfect. Very gently, we're going to place the blocks back into their upright position. We're going to bring our right leg back and we're going to switch to the other side. So let's go ahead and step the left leg forward. When you arrive, again, add a little bit of a tuck, a little bit of a right bum cheek squeeze, and then start to come forward, nice and easy. Noticing what you're feeling through the front of the hip, adjusting that left foot for your own comfort. And then as needed, rotating the blocks downward. Again, only if you need it. You have the option of staying in stillness or adding that little bit of wiggle from side to side. Perfect. As you're ready, we're going to rotate the blocks up and we're going to use the support of the blocks to bring ourselves up into a standing forward fold. So stepping the feet about hip distance apart or whatever feels most comfortable for you. Take a minute and feel that stretch up the back of the legs. You might even feel some feeling through the glutes, the lower back. This could be very individual. And then we're going to start to make our way up to standing. And we're not going to be in standing for long, just enough to bring ourselves into our next movement. So you can first of all bring the blanket out of the way. And for this next movement, we're going to need some space sort of sideways. Okay, so I'm going to face you. You might want to face me. We're going to bring our feet a little bit wider. And again, we're going to use these Papa Bear blocks. We're going to place them on the floor, glued together. And then we're going to set the blocks just behind our heels. From here, bend your knees as much as you need to bring the hands to the floor. And then heel toe your feet towards each other until they're around shoulder distance apart, maybe even a little bit wider. And then from here, we're going to sit onto the blocks. So you're going to go ahead and push the bum back and down. If you don't make it all the way, that's okay. And then we're going to rise up from here. Now the goal of this is to stretch into our inner hips, and you'll even maybe get a little bit of stretch through your inner thighs. So you can go ahead and place your elbows into your inner thighs, bring your hands to prayer, and then push into your inner thighs. Now, for me personally, I'm not really getting a lot of leverage here, and depending on where you're at, you might not be doing it either unless you really round through the spine, which we don't want to do. So go ahead and take your forearms to the insides of your knees, your thighs, wherever they happen to reach comfortably, and then go ahead and gently press the arms outward. And I definitely feel like I get a much deeper stretch from this position. Again, feel free to close your eyes if you'd like to. Perfect. As you're ready, we're going to come out of this position. And there's a few different ways that you can get this, but the ultimate goal is to come back down onto the floor. So I'm going to place my hands on the floor, lift my hips. I'm going to move my blocks off to the side and then tuck a leg underneath to come down to the floor. Now again, whatever feels most comfortable for you, that's the way to go. Then you can once again take your blanket, a little cushion for your head. Come on down to the floor. You can either bend your knees with the soles of the feet on the floor, or you can stretch your legs out long. Let's just take a moment or two to settle in. Connecting with your breath. And bringing in that same intention we did with our first movement, where we inhale space. And as you exhale, letting go into the full support of the floor. Noticing where your body is making contact with the floor. Where your body is making contact with your clothing. And where your body is making contact with nothing at all. As you feel ready, you can go ahead and gently make your way onto the side of your body. Perhaps spending a breath or two in this side lying position. And then go ahead and make your way up to a seated position once again. And if you'd like to, you can join me as we breathe all breath out of the body. So we can breathe in together, reaching the arms wide and overhead where the palms connect. Exhaling your hands to heart, heart to hands. And go ahead and open your eyes. Thank you so much for being here today. The goodness in me salutes the goodness in you. I hope you enjoyed today's little mini movement practice. Go ahead and save this video for later. The next time your hips are feeling a little cranky, it'll be right there waiting for you. Once again, if you love this content, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an upload. And if your hip pain is persistent, sharp, worsening, or affecting your daily life, make sure to speak to your healthcare provider and get assessed. I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Bye for now.